Property owners in the Denver metro area deal with a uniquely demanding climate, one defined by rapid, wide temperature swings and intense dry air. These freezing winter fronts aggressively test your building's thermal envelope, looking for any weakness to exploit. You can see the symptoms of a failing envelope on this scorecard: noticeable drafts, rooms that never stay comfortable, high energy bills, and ice dams forming on the roofline. Most people instinctively turn to traditional fiberglass or cellulose because the initial installation cost is low. It feels like the safest financial move on day one. However, these traditional materials have a technical limit. They slow down heat transfer, but they fail to stop air movement entirely. Conditioned air escapes, and outside air infiltrates right through the insulation. Skipping the air seal keeps costs down today, but ensures long-term structural degradation, perpetual HVAC strain, and a building that is never truly comfortable. Spray foam insulation uses a reactive application process. It is a liquid that expands on contact, physically changing the wall or roof it touches. This creates a dual mechanism. It functions as a high-performance thermal insulator while simultaneously acting as an impermeable air seal. During that expansion, the foam aggressively fills the tiny gaps and irregular cracks that traditional bats leave wide open. The trade-off for this complete seal is a higher upfront capital investment and the absolute requirement for professional installation. To make that premium pay off, you have to look past generic application. You must match the specific foam chemistry to your building's architectural scenario. There are two primary chemical formulations available for these projects: open-cell and closed-cell spray foam. These materials have very different physical traits. Open-cell is light and flexible, while closed-cell is dense and cures into a rigid solid. Their relationship with moisture is the biggest differentiator. Open-cell is permeable, but closed-cell creates a true vapor barrier. Each provides a secondary benefit. Open-cell is an excellent sound dampener, whereas the rigidity of closed-cell adds measurable structural strength to the walls. Applying the wrong chemistry can lead to wasted money or even trapped moisture. Scenario matching is the only way to protect the investment. In a typical Denver area home, the attic is the single largest point of energy loss. Warm air rises and escapes through the roofline in the winter, while intense radiant heat pushes down into the house during the summer. For this specific residential retrofit, open-cell spray foam is almost always the definitive choice. Because a wooden house frame naturally expands and contracts, open-cell's flexibility allows the seal to shift with the building without cracking or pulling away. It also creates a cleaner indoor environment by sealing out dust and neighborhood noise. For a homeowner, this application yields the fastest ROI by stabilizing the temperature in every room and immediately reducing the workload on the HVAC system. Metal structures, like pole barns, storage buildings, and industrial facilities, face a different set of extreme challenges. When warm interior air hits a cold metal wall, it creates severe condensation. This moisture drips onto equipment and inventory, leading to rust and decay. Closed-cell spray foam is the mandatory solution for these metal environments. It adheres directly to the metal, eliminating the air gap where condensation forms, while providing a total moisture barrier. For commercial warehouse operators, this stabilizes the interior environment, protecting sensitive assets and significantly lowering monthly utility overhead. Investing in closed-cell foam is an asset protection measure. It prevents the structural decay and inventory loss that can occur in uninsulated metal buildings. While traditional insulation degrades and settles over time, spray foam maintains its structural integrity and performance for years. This matrix shows how the environment dictates the choice. Traditional insulation works in mild conditions, but Denver's climate requires a more aggressive seal. Homeowners with drafty rooms should prioritize open-cell retrofits. For metal buildings and pole barns, use closed-cell foam to stop condensation. Stop uncontrolled air movement at the source to secure the highest long-term ROI. A targeted capital investment here fixes the underlying cause of building failure rather than simply chasing the lowest initial price per R value.